Another dose of opium, guys. Users have found a Steam controller unboxing video just sitting on Steam, and a new Linux-style gaming PC just launched that might be our best pricing clue yet for the Steam machine. Without further ado, let's get into it. So this morning, users have found an unreleased video on SteamDB. The video is titled Steam Controller Unboxing 2026. And before you get too excited, if you try to open it, you get a message saying the video has not been processed for streaming yet. It's not watchable, it's hidden, it's unlisted. I have been refreshing that page so much this morning that my forearm is noticeably larger than it was yesterday. But the fact that this video exists at all, that it is sitting there uploaded, waiting, that does give me some hope that we might actually be getting something this week. A pre-order date, a release window, something, please. Valve, something. Now here's what I find interesting about this though. The only video that has surfaced is Steam controller unboxing. So not Steam machine, not Steam frame, just the controller. And that has got people talking because it could actually confirm something that has been floating around as speculation for a while, that Valve might be releasing the controller separately ahead of the other hardware, which is both good and bad. Now, on one hand, people do want the controller. It has been talked about, the specs look good, and there is genuine demand for it as a standalone peripheral. It works with PC, Mac, Steam Deck, so it does not need to ship with the machine. It's also not plagued by the recent RAM and SSD crisis. Now, on my recent Steam hardware videos, I have been asking you guys what are you most excited about, and while a lot of you want both the controller and the Steam machine, the controller is pulling ahead by a few votes. Now, on the other hand, if only the controller is getting an unboxing video right now and possibly a release, that could be a signal that the Steam machine and the Steam frame are not as close as we hoped, and maybe Valve needs to push them further down the line towards the end of the year. My own take on this, and I do think this is the more likely scenario, is that Valve is still planning to launch everything together. They have had so much time to do this if they wanted to do it separately. They have explicitly said they're not doing staggered releases. They want one launch window for everything. And there is something else to keep in mind here. The Valve blog post from February said, and I quote, "In the meantime, we plan to use this blog to deliver additional content from deep dives into specific features, video and blog form to updates and what's new write-ups." So these unboxing videos, these real assets, they were always part of the plan. This is a content rollout, not necessarily a launch rollout. The controller video being ready first does not automatically mean the controller ships first and separates from the rest. Now, all of that being said, I genuinely would not be shocked if Valve changed their minds. They are the same people who cannot count to 3, and if releasing the controller early makes logistical sense on their end, they will do it. I just think that the stronger argument is still a unified launch for all 3 devices. Oh, and one more thing on the unboxing video situation. It's just a controller video we've seen, so no Steam machine and no Steam frame. I get the part about the Steam machine unboxing video. It won't be that exciting. You're unboxing a cube, plugging it in, not exactly mind-blowing content. I am still doing one. The second mine arrives, obviously. But there should definitely be a Steam frame unboxing video. I think the frame is harder to showcase on its own, even if it's just an unboxing, so maybe that one just takes more production work to put together. Who knows? My brain is basically mush at this point from sniffing too many Steam Decks waiting for any news. Now, there is one more layer to that that's worth mentioning. Remember a few days back when we talked about those US customs import records showing a shipment of wireless PC controllers coming from Hong Kong? Now, Bill over at NerdNest did some math on it because we do know the weight of the shipment. We also know the weight of the controller, and we can probably estimate the weight of the packaging, and all of that combined, he estimated that around 30,000 controllers were delivered in that batch, which honestly does not sound like a lot. If that's your first launch stock for the entire US, that's gonna be hard to get your hands on that controller. Here's the thing, that's only one shipment and only for the US. We actually don't have any data for the rest of the world, no visibility on what is going on elsewhere. And it's not just the controllers in those import records. Over the past 2 months, Valve has received several shipments. You have got a February entry classified as input or output units for automatic data processing machines. You have got another one from the same month listed as video game consoles and machines, and then a monitor type entry described as monitors of a kind solely or principally used in automatic data processing system. Video game consoles, monitors of a kind, controllers. If that's not the Steam machine, the Steam frame and the Steam controller sitting in a warehouse somewhere, waiting for a launch date. I don't know what else it would be. The pieces are all there. We're just waiting on Valve to actually tell us something. Now, quick pause before I move on to the second topic. If you found this video cool, consider leaving a like. And if you're into Steam, Steam hardware, Steam Deck, and handhelds content, consider subscribing to the channel. So moving on to topic 2, and this one is actually pretty useful as a reference point for what the Steam machine might end up costing. There is a new device called the Playnix console, and it's a console-style Linux gaming PC with a 3D printed chassis, roughly the size of a slim PS5, and it's built around AMD hardware. It just went on sale for 1,139 euros, or about 1,140 US dollars, and the specs are Ryzen 5 5500 CPU, a Radeon RX 9060 XT, a GPU at 150 watts, and 16 gigabytes of RAM. Now on the surface, this might just look like another small form factor PC, but it's worth paying attention to because of the GPU. Now the RX 960 XT is RDNA 4, and that is a newer architecture than what the Steam machine is going to be running. And this is meaningfully more capable than what Valve is putting in the Steam machine, which uses an RDNA 3 GPU, comparable more to an RX 7600. Now Playnix is also running a discrete CPU and GPU in a bigger chassis, while the Steam machine is a more tightly engineered, more compact box with a semi-custom chip setup. So if the Playnix is a bit more capable on the GPU side, and it's from an independent outfit without Valve's supply chain scale, and it's going for $1,100, that does give us a data point. Now Valve has said their pricing will be comparable to a similarly spec'd PC, and this was before the RAM and SSD crisis. However, Valve's own engineers suggested you could put something together like the Steam machine's hardware in a small form factor for around $800 to $1,000, not counting storage and memory at the current prices. And with the RAM crisis still ongoing, which is also exactly why Valve has been delaying and rethinking pricing, you should probably not expect a number that starts with a 7. My best guess, looking at all of this, somewhere in the 800 to 1000 range feels most likely for the base Steam machine, and maybe pushing towards 1000 or beyond that for the 2TB config, given where memory prices are sitting right now. The Playnix being 1140 for a more powerful GPU actually makes a sub 1000 Steam machine look very reasonable by comparison, assuming Valve can hold that line, and whether they can is a different conversation given the chip situation. Now keep in mind this is still speculation. Valve has not announced a price, but at least now we have something to triangulate off, and the Playnix gives us a pretty useful ceiling. Now that might be not what you wanted to hear. It does kind of sound like we are getting to a bit more expensive price for the Steam machine. But again, I'm basing this off of a comparison of a different console. I don't have any real data, so do take this with a grain of salt. And if you wanted, you could look at the Steam machine specs and try and put together something like that using the current prices from various different retailers, and you could probably get to a similar number. Now that's what I have for you today. Keep an eye out on that video and on the Steam front page today, and tomorrow we might just get something. After all, tomorrow is just a random Wednesday. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like. If you hated it, let me know what I can do to improve. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.